Hey, hi, I'm Ashit. I'm going to take you through a session to how to develop a perfect speaking voice. We have all heard at least one person in our life whose voice is so beautiful and rich that we enjoy listening to them speak, sometimes regardless of what they are actually saying. While developing perfect vocal intonation and diction can be a lifelong task, a beautiful sounding voice can be obtained in a relatively short amount of time. All you need is a little guidance and some dedicated practice. So if you would like to develop a perfect speaking voice, come along. Let's go on. I will divide this session in two parts. The first one would be developing good speech habits. Point number 1. Speak up whenever you have to. It's important to be heard when you speak, so raise your voice. If you intend to whisper, mumble or speak with your head down, it is much easier for people to talk over you or ignore you. However, this doesn't mean you should shout. Rather, you should vary the loudness of your speech depending on the situation. For example, if you're addressing a large group of people, it will be necessary for you to speak loudly in order to project your voice. But speaking too loudly in normal everyday conversation is unnecessary and can give the wrong impression. Point number 2. Slow down while you speak. Speaking too quickly is a bad habit, and it can be difficult for people to keep up with you or even understand what you're saying. This makes it easy for them to tune out and stop listening. Therefore, it's important to slow down your speech by saying your words more slowly and pausing between sentences. This helps to add emphasis to what you're saying and gives you a chance to take a breath. On the other hand, it's a good idea not to speak too slowly. Speaking too slowly can be monotonous for your listeners, so they become impatient and just tune out. The ideal speaking rate is somewhere between 120 and 160 words per minute. However, if you're giving a speech, it's a good idea to alter the speed at which you speak. Speaking slowly can help to emphasize a point, while speaking more quickly can give the impression of passion and enthusiasm. Point number 3. Enunciate. Speaking clearly is possibly the most important aspect of developing a good speaking voice. You need to pay close attention to each and every word you say, pronouncing it fully and correctly. Make sure to open your mouth, loosen your lips, and keep your tongue and teeth in the correct position as you speak. This may also help eliminate or disguise a lisp if you have one. It might feel odd at first, but if you consistently make the effort to pronounce your words correctly, it will soon come naturally to you. Point number 4. Practice deep breathing. Deep breathing is essential for a full, rich speaking voice. The majority of people breathe too quickly and shallowly when they speak, which results in a more unnatural nasal tone. Your breath should come from your diaphragm, not from your chest. To figure out if you're breathing correctly, place your fist on your abdomen, just below your last rib. You should feel your stomach expand and see your shoulders rise and fall as you breathe. Practice your breathing by inhaling deeply, allowing the air to fill your belly. Breathe in for a count of 5 seconds, then exhale for another 5. Get used to this method of breathing, then try to work it into your everyday speech. Remember that sitting or standing up straight with your chin up and your shoulders back will help you to breathe deeper and project your voice more easily. It will also give you an air of confidence as you speak. Try to breathe at the end of every sentence. If you use the deep breathing method, you should have enough air to get through the next sentence without having to pause for breath. This will also give your listeners a chance to absorb whatever you're saying. Point number 5. Vary your pitch. The pitch of your voice can have a real impact on the quality of your speech and the impact it makes on your listeners. In general, speaking in a shaky or unsteady pitch gives the impression of nervousness, while an even voice is more calming and persuasive. Although you shouldn't try to change the natural pitch of your voice, you should make an effort to control it. Don't let your nerves get the better of you and aim to achieve a fuller, smoother pitch. You can practice controlling your pitch by humming a tune or simply by reading a piece of text aloud to yourself. Keep in mind that it's not necessary to maintain a steady pitch at all times. Some words should be voiced in a higher pitch in order to add emphasis. Let's go to part 2 of this session, practicing your speech. Point number 1, do some vocal exercises. Practicing vocal exercises can be a good way to develop your natural speaking voice. Practicing while looking in the mirror is the most effective way to achieve this, as are some of these ways. Try to loosen your mouth and relax your vocal cords. You can do this by yawning widely, wiggling your jaw from side to side, humming a tune, and gently massaging your throat muscles with your fingers. Increase your breathing capacity and volume by fully exhaling until all of the air is completely expelled from your lungs. Then take a deep breath and hold it for 15 seconds before exhaling again. Work on your pitch by singing the sound ah first at your normal pitch, then getting progressively lower. You can do this with each of the letters of the alphabet. Repeat tongue twisters like red leather, yellow leather. She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Point number 2, practice reading aloud. In order to work out on pronunciation, pace and volume, it is a good idea to practice reading aloud. Pick a passage from a book or a magazine, or better yet, find a transcript of a famous speech, maybe such as one by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and read it aloud to yourself. Remember to stand up straight, breathe deeply, and open your mouth fully when you speak. Stand in front of a mirror if it helps. Keep practicing until you're happy with what you hear. Then try to employ the same techniques as part of your everyday speech. Point number 3, record yourself. Even though most people don't like listening to the sound of their own voices, it's a good idea to record yourself speaking. This can help you to pick up on any faults that you wouldn't normally pick up on, such as mispronunciations and speed or pitch problems. Nowadays, most phones will have a recording option that you can use to listen to yourself. You could also use a video camera, which could be helpful to check your posture, eye contact, and mouth movement. Point number 4, see a voice coach. If you're really worried about improving your speech or speaking voice for something like a debate or a presentation, then it might be a good idea to book an appointment with a voice coach. They can identify your individual speech issues and help you to correct them. A voice coach is also a good idea if you have a native or a very colloquial accent that you are trying to minimize or eliminate. Getting rid of an accent is a difficult thing to do, so seeing a professional can really help. If seeing a voice coach seems a little extreme, then consider practicing in front of a particularly articulate friend or a family member. They may be able to pick up on any issues and give you some helpful pointers. This will also help you to feel more confident about speaking in front of others. The last, final, but the most important point, smile as you speak. People will judge you and the content of your speech more favorably if you use an open, friendly, encouraging tone as opposed to an aggressive, sarcastic, or a bored one. A good way to make your tone more friendly and warm is to smile while you speak. Not a crazed grin, mind you, but even a slight upturn of the corners of your mouth can make the sound of your voice more appealing, even over the phone. Of course, smiling isn't always appropriate, especially if you're discussing issue. But just remember that inserting emotion into your voice, whatever emotion it may be, can do wonders. That's all from me. Thank you so much for giving me a patient hearing. If there is any query, if you want to know anything about voice, perfection, modulation, do call on me. I'm always there for your assistance.